friend Roger Christofferson here again with another first listener review. This is one I wasn't planning on babbling about, but even after I listened to it, I'm going to be quite honest, I wasn't sure if I really wanted to babble about this one, but I'm talking about Herman Rarebell, Herman Z. German for some of you guys, and his newest album called What About Love. He's done quite a few albums since leaving the Scorpions. He was in, Michael Schenker's band there, Temple of something, and I can't remember the name of it now. Man, I'm a huge Michael Schenker fan. But anyway, he has worked with a lot of different people over the past few years. A lot of guest appearances on all his albums. The first few he did were a little bit all over the place. This one's a little bit more focused. He has like pretty solid lineup for this album, but it's all like songs from the 80s. So I wasn't really sure what to expect with this one. And I'll be honest, right from the front, some good, some not so good. Some of it was like, and some of it was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Kind of all over the place. And I don't usually like doing reviews on albums I don't like. For the most part, I thought this was kind of interesting and fun, but there was a couple spots in here that were, what the heck were they thinking type stuff. But anyway, it's 12 songs, all 80s stuff. He's got a really solid lineup of people on here. It's got Michael Voss on vocals and guitars, who I've known from multiple projects. Vocalist, I'm not, the female vocalist, Van DeForest. She's got her on acoustic guitars and keyboards as well. And then Dan Huff on lead guitars. That's what really attracted me to this, aside from Herman. Howard Leese on guitars from Heart, which is funny because they do a couple Heart songs on here. And Bob Daisley on bass, Neil Carter on keyboards, Jim Valance on keyboards, and then a couple people on backing vocals I'm not familiar with, Eva van der Forst and Lexus de la Foray. So hopefully I said those names all right, but kicks in with In the Air Night. As soon as it kicks in, it's not quite the Phil Collins effect, but you instantly know what song it is. It was a cool little version of it. Of course, you got Phil's. This is one thing about doing cover songs. If you're not going to add to it or twist it to make it your own or do something special with it, I don't really see the point. And that kind of happened with some of these. And some of these, I'll get to that one in a minute, they twisted to make their own, and boy, did they miss the mark. But this one's kind of cool. Of course, it's got, Herman playing drums on it. It seems like he's doing like the percussion stuff through the whole thing, and that was kind of cool when it kicked in. And cool little version of it. I Want to Know What Love Is. I've never been a huge fan of this song, but this version of it I actually kind of liked. They trade off on the vocals on it, and I thought it was a pretty cool little version of it. Their version of Love Is a Battlefield wasn't too much different from the original. However, I thought maybe they were going to do the original version of it because it was actually written by Holly Knight as a ballad. And if you haven't heard her version of it, it's quite interesting to hear it. Slower song was meant to be a ballad. Pat Benatar and her husband took it, Neil there, and rocked it up a little bit. I say rocked it up, just picked up the pace and made it a poppier song. And then the title track, What About Love? It's when you're doing a Heart song, it's weird because it's got Howard Leese playing on this, but this is one of those ones. It was just kind of like almost like a step down from the original. It didn't really do anything different. They didn't add to me anything that really made it sound any better, but it was okay. And then Every Breath You Take, they took that and made it quite a more upbeat, changed the whole song, made it their little cool thing. I'm kind of on the fence as to whether it was something I prefer over the original or not, but it was different, and at least they gave it a shot. So I give them a thumbs up, I guess, on that one. And this is where it takes a turn, and I'm like, what the heck were you thinking? The Sweet Child of Mine version that is on here, just for me, was absolute garbage. They didn't, if you don't have the signature lick, they went all acoustic in it. The drum tags, like for me, it was one of the favorite parts of the song, the little tags with the bass, gone. The whole middle of the song is cut out, and even the end where Axl does his little rundown with the band, the no. It's there, but super weak. I don't know. This song just left me feeling like flat. And I went from that into Here I Go Again, which is such an iconic song. That one's hard to redo. David Coverdale's vocals are so, like, I don't know, bluesy, and even though it's a pop song, the only thing I'll give them credit on is they didn't try to do anything crazy on it, and they kept the drum part the same. So that was okay. Addicted to Love is actually, I like this version of it. I'm not a huge Robert Palmer fan. I don't dislike him at all, but I never really followed him too much. So Addicted to Love was cool. That was fun. Like their version of it. It's probably better than Robert's version. Passion Rules the Game, or Scorpions. Of course, he had to get a Scorpions remake. The recording of the riffs originally, on the 80s version of Scorpions was very 80s produced. I actually like what they did on here, and they had a little acoustic guitar in it, which I actually thought made the song better. I actually like this version a lot better than the Scorpions version. I really like the Scorpions, but which leads me to Rock Like a Hurricane. It's such an iconic song. I'm not sure why they chose this one to redo it, but they did. And it was just kind of like a straight remake. Didn't have like the solo, signature solo. It's close, but not quite there. And, I don't know, a little bit flat from the original, but this is my personal opinion. Then we got another Heart song, These Dreams. Funny enough, it's the only Heart song that I think went to #1, if I'm not mistaken, and it had Nancy singing the vocals instead of Ann. Well, they redid it here. Okay version of it, not bad, but the Heart version's just so iconic, it's hard to redo these songs. And then they end with I Love Rock and Roll, which is not a Joan Jett song. A lot of people think it is, but anyway, their version of it was pretty cool. I liked the way they did, big chorus, and it was cool. The players on this thing, I thought were a great choice. I really like Dan Huff. I love Giant stuff, and it's amazing how many albums he's actually played on. I really like his style and whatever. And his playing on here was really good. However, he didn't really have a chance to shine too many places. There's a couple spots here and there where you could really hear him coming through. You notice his style. But out of all the players he had on here, I thought he would have made a more epic sounding and bigger sounding. Like I said, the production was good, but there wasn't full at all. There was it was very minimal going on, which for 80s music, which is I didn't appreciate 80s music quite as much then as I do now. I'm not going to badmouth the music that comes out nowadays, but I appreciate what was going on back then and the uniqueness of everything. And I was kind of hoping that maybe on this album they would have tried to do a little bit more with some of the songs to make it more unique of their own, but like I said, it fell flat on a few of them. A couple there that were okay. Overall, fun listen. Probably won't pop this in too many more times. Maybe somewhere down the line I'll want to hear this one more time, but not going to be anytime soon. But that's just my quick little opinion and rundown of it. Anybody else has heard this stuff, tell me what you think. Is there any other Herman's or German stuff out there you think we should check out? Feel free, as always, to comment, and any cool little stories. It's always fun to hear people's little stories of maybe band members, people they've met online. I always enjoy that, so feel free to do that as well. Like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because you always try some new, unique stuff. Just like I said, it wasn't all bad, so I wouldn't mind hearing what he's got up his sleeve next year, couple years, however long it takes him to get the next one out. Hopefully not too long, but until then, we will see you.